Alright guys, what's going on? My name is Christian and welcome to another video. Before I get started today, can we aim for like 100 likes? Let's just go for 100. Let's not set the bar too high. Let's not set it too low. I think 3 likes is a little too low, so we'll set it at 100. Also, leave a comment if you enjoy this video. I love reading your guys' comments, each and every one of them. And you guys are all just amazing, lovely people. So anyway, this story takes place, I want to say, sometime, might have been freshman year, might have been 8th grade year, but it was definitely during the summer. And I went to my grandpa's house, and let me just start this story out by saying this story may seem fake, but I told my friends about it, right when it happened. I really don't make up stories. Like, I don't make up stories at all. It's not my thing. I hardly make anything from YouTube. And so for me, it's just trying to share my experiences for you guys. Anyway, like I said, I went to my grandpa's house every summer. And on this particular trip, nothing happened for the first 2 weeks. I was actually probably making YouTube videos at this point. I actually was. Yeah, I definitely was. And what I would do there is basically just sit in my room and play video games on the TV that was in that room. Occasionally go on bike rides, play with the kids down the street, which I've mentioned in other videos, and go out and do stuff with my grandpa whenever he wanted to do stuff. And in fact, last summer was the only time I didn't actually go out there. But anyway, like I said, for the first 2 weeks, nothing happened, and I ended up staying out there a total of 3 weeks. And then halfway through the 3rd week, I decided to get on the app Meet Me, right? And I go to local, so I could see all the people that were online near me. And I saw this girl, and she was blonde. She was 30 miles away. And I wouldn't say she was cute, but she was okay looking. Like, I'll be honest with you, she wasn't that cute, but cool personality. Like, we got to talking, I hit her up, and after a while, I got her kick, right? And then after that, she said she was leaving service, and so she had to go to, the text messaging. So I got her number, and then we started texting, and things were really going well. And so, like, as it had turned out, she was having really bad luck with guys, and, like, every guy she had talked to had gone really bad, and, like, guys had stood her up and everything, and she just wanted to go on, like, a nice date where she was talking, and she didn't even say me specifically. She was just talking in general, and I was like, man, that would be totally cool if I got to be that person to go on that date with you. And she was like, really? ? And I was like, yeah, totally. Like, I would love to do that. And so she just was like, okay, what if we maybe went on this date? And I just said, yeah, that would be kind of great. And then I was like, but there's one problem. I can't drive. And so then she kind of texted back and just said, I can drive, I can do this, I can get there, and I just have to get some gas money from my mom, and I'll just tell her I'm going to a movie out where you are, because there was a huge theater by my grandpa's house, and I'll just tell her, I'm going out with some friends to that big movie theater. And I was like, okay, that's great. Let's plan for tomorrow. And she was like, I can't do tomorrow. How about the next day? And I was like, ooh, but that's the day I'm leaving, actually it would have been the day before I was leaving. And so I was like, I have to pack, I have to go to church that morning with my grandparents. I don't know, maybe later in the day. And she said, okay, let's do that. And so about 6 p.m. rolls around, and I was like really cautious of this, right? Because like I had known about catfishes and everything, and she had like sent Snapchats, but I just wanted to be totally sure that it wasn't like a setup. You just hear about all those crazy stories. So I told her to park her car on a road that was by my grandpa's house, and then I would drive my bike over there, and I would meet her there. And so I get there, and then I stop in front of this car, and I park my bike, and then she gets out of the car. And let me just say, she was a bit bigger than I expected. She was fluffier than I thought she'd be. And she got out, but I didn't say anything. And then we kind of went to the park that was nearby, which was actually the neighborhood's park. And we just sat down and we got to talking. And it was really nice. She told me about like how she played volleyball, and I think maybe she played women's hockey. I have no idea. But she was a really good personality. And that's a big thing, to look for in girls. And so after about, I want to say like an hour of talking, like the time just flew by when we were talking, and it started to rain. And so we kind of started to head back, and I was like, yeah, we should go back, it's raining. And then she was like, you can come and sit in my car for a little bit. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And she had known that I was at my grandparents' house and everything, like I had told her. And so she's like, we can't be too long. And I was like, yeah, I know, I don't want my grandparents to worry or anything, which I just told them I was going on a bike ride and I was gonna like call my mom or something, I don't know. And we get in the car and we continue talking. And I had told her that, like, if she wanted to do anything, like, I'd be down. And she was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. And we just kind of started getting to kissing, and I was like, all right, this is good. Like, I kind of skipped that part, but, like, I asked her if she wanted to kiss, right? Because, I had only kissed a girl, like, maybe once before this. And we started kissing, and it was going well, right? And then she's like, okay, why don't we go in the back? And I'm like, why? And she's like, well, if you look out there, there's like that lady mowing her lawn, which there was just this old lady, and she thought that the lady was like looking at us. And so we get out of the car, which that doesn't look suspicious at all, get in the back seat, and she's like, you can like touch if you want. And I'm like, really? Like, so I kind of like go down and I just place my hand on her boob, right? And we're still kissing, and she's like, you can squeeze it. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, so I kind of squeeze, like, hardly at all. Like, I just kind of like go boop, boop. You know what I mean? Like a really small squeeze, not even really a squeeze. And then I'm like, can I go under? And she was like, yeah. And I'm just like a kid in the candy shop because I go under her shirt and I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And I'm feeling around, like I can feel the nipple and everything. And then I go down and come out, I put my hand back to her side and she's like, why don't you touch my ass? And I'm like, okay. And so I touch my ass and not my ass, but her ass. And I swear to God, we literally made out for 45 minutes. It went by so quickly and it was just good. And then after that, she was like, you could do whatever you want. And I was like, okay. So like, I just kind of like, I didn't really even feel down there. I like put my hand there and I was like, that's kind of weird. And she could tell like I hadn't really done this before. And I just went back to her ass. And then, I went back to her boob and I was like so scared to squeeze it because I didn't like want to pop her boob or something. I don't even know what I was thinking. But that was about it. After that, she said, you should probably get home. And I was like, yeah. And so she ended up going home. I went home. We had a pretty good time, and we didn't really talk after that. I would honestly say, I don't know if that's because I was a bad kisser or whatever, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed. Hit that like button. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you later.